What is up, mama? I am coming to you again live in full-blown post-workout heathen status, but I know you don't mind, so thank you for that. So we are on to our third workout. Today I want you to grab out one of your mini bands, just moderate tension, nothing crazy, but nothing too light. And we are going to start with some alternating lateral banded squats. So I want this band to go right above. Let's see if I can tilt the camera without it tipping all the way over. Okay, right above your knees here. Okay, so we're gonna step on in here, and we want to have enough space. So we're gonna start with our feet together at the top. Okay, we're gonna step out to one side, doesn't matter which side first. Okay, I'm stepping out. As I go out, I'm gonna go down into a squat. I want to press my knees out wide against the band, and then I'm gonna follow that foot up to that side. So whatever foot I step out with, I'm also stepping up from my squat with. Okay, then I reverse. So I'm gonna go out this direction. Again, I'm sitting down deep. I'm pushing my knees out wide against that band and then popping up to that side. We're gonna do 16 total. Okay, that was 2. So 3, knees drive out against the band, making sure to keep enough tension and really sitting back through the hips. I think that's 6, 7, 8, 9, chest stays up. You can also start to load this. We want to probably do our first set just body weight, just so you can get the feel for it. But then eventually we can start loading with like a kettlebell at the chest. Let's say do 4 more. So 1, 2, 3, and last one, 4. Good. All right, come all the way up to the top. This guy can get stripped off. So when we're doing that, again, we really just want to make sure that our glutes are working hard by pushing out against the band, not letting our knees cave in with the tension of it. It's a great tactile reminder just to keep ourselves out during that squat. And then just thinking chest high. Second one, now that we have our hips sort of loose, we're going to do a dumbbell squat to overhead press. Okay, so I want you to take 2 dumbbells. I have 8 to 10 pounds in your recommendations. I think starting with 8 is a good place, and then again, you can bump up as you want to or need to. So we have 2 dumbbells in our hands, okay? We're gonna be in what's called a neutral position, just meaning that our palms are facing each other. We wanna think about keeping our elbows high and tight to our body, okay? So if I'm looking at the mirror, I like to have constant eye contact with my elbows while I'm looking in the mirror. Okay, from here, we're going to go down into a squat, okay, and then drive up into an overhead press. And again, at the top position, my palms are still facing each other, okay? I come back to home base, my elbows stay high, I go down into that squat, and then I drive up. I can use the momentum from my squat to go into the press. That's fine, that's 4. We're gonna do 10. And then other important things are just making sure that we always come back down to home base here right before we go into the squat. Otherwise, we can get ourselves into a little bit of a sticky situation if we're trying to squat with dumbbells overhead. So that was 10. And the third one in this round, we're gonna do a single arm dumbbell bench press. So again, I have my handy dandy little step box here, but I don't have a bench. You're gonna take 1 dumbbell. I have either 10 to 15, I think we have 12s too, but starting with a 10, it's gonna be a lot of sneaky core just because we are only loading one side. It might pull you a little bit to that direction. So we wanna have 1 dumbbell. We're gonna lay down back onto the bench. Hopefully you can see semi-decently. So we're gonna be back down onto the bench. This guy is going to stack right up over our single shoulder. Okay, it's gonna come out to the side, and then it's gonna punch right back up. At the top, we really wanna make sure that it comes over our, basically over our sternum, over the midline. And then as we go out to the side, right, we're basically at a 90-degree angle with our body and at the elbow. Okay, and then again, punching back up to the side. So you may feel a little bit of core as it tries to pull you in the direction of the dumbbell. We just want to resist that. Make sure feet always stay planted on the ground the whole time. So we're going to do 10 on each side. I think that was probably about 10. And same thing on the other side, right? So we got single, 2, 3. always just thinking slow and controlled on the way down, not passing our body, basically the plane of our body. So we want our elbow to come down horizontal or in line with our torso and our chest, but we don't want it to come too far past our body or past the bench. And good. All right, so quick and dirty, that was round one. Pretty good one, some compound, 3 good compound movements. So I want you to go back through, starting with the squats. Again, second time through, if you want to put a dumbbell up at the chest, you want to hold it just like a goblet squat up here. And then it'll just add a little bit more challenge to it. So if you want to pause me or replay me, whichever you prefer, we'll come right back here for the second round. Ta-da! I didn't move at all. I didn't even pause the video. Okay, second one. We're starting with a lateral box step up. So again, I know we had talked about this a little bit in one of the other videos. Our step is a little bit low, okay? It's not gonna be crazy challenging, but it will help just to start at a conservative place, build up that stability. You can load heavier, right, in our hands since the box itself isn't that high. And then eventually you can progress to the bench or a higher box if we end up getting one. So I say either 15 to 20 pounds in each hand. Start with 15, again, just to get the feel for it, but 20 shouldn't be a big thing with the box not being too terribly high. So for our lateral step up, pretty much just as the name sounds, we're gonna be from the side of the box this time rather than from the front. So one foot can start up on the box and this guy can stay there the whole time, okay? Don't have to step back. Make sure you just give yourself a decent little platform for the other foot to step up to. So if I'm here, I'm coming on up. Okay, to my other foot, I can let it completely just chill up at the top. The goal is standing up as straight and sturdy as we can. Really thinking about loading back through our heel. So I'll turn the box as I go to the next side, but I really want to think about kind of starting with my knee at a 90-degree angle and then standing up tall through the heel rather than rocking forward or loading over my knee. Okay, so I imagine that was about 10, and then I'm gonna turn the box so that you can actually see what I'm talking about here. All right, so notice when I start, my knee is actually kind of out in front of me, and as I step up, I'm stepping up and slightly forward, but I'm not letting my chest round to help me rock forward. This will be something that maybe gets a little bit more challenging or severe as the box is higher, but while we're low, we really just want to think about keeping that form correct. Staying up tall, okay? Arms are just a vessel for the dumbbells, so I'm not holding any tension through my arms at all. I'm just letting them hang long. And we'll call this one more. And fully relax down. Like I said, are a strong and capable lady. It's probably not terrible at this point because the box is so low. I would recommend trying to move up to a bench or a little bit higher box as soon as you can, just so that we're loading a little bit heavier, challenging you because you're capable of it. Okay, second, we have what's called man makers. I would grab a 10-pound plate from the weight rack. Don't let it slide out of your hands and throw it across the dance room floor like I did. So we've got a plate here. It's going to start, okay, down to one side, and then we're coming up and across, sort of like a wood chop of sorts. So I want my feet to be wider than hip width, okay, so they're decently wide. My knees are soft and athletic stance on here. I'm taking the plate, I'm gonna come down to one side, and then I'm staying tight to my body and chopping up and across. Okay, I'm gonna do 12 on each side. So as I go down, again, I'm slightly bending into the knee, but I'm also sort of folding my torso forward, okay? And then as I come up, I'm fully extending, I'm twisting slightly to face that left direction. And as long as we are responsible, we can do it at a pretty decent pace, get that heart rate up, but also working through the legs, the hip, and the core. So let's say 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Good. And we have another 12 on the other side. So again, plate is here. I'm gonna give you a little side angle so you can see that I am bending my knee, but I am also folding myself forward just slightly, okay? So down to the left, up and across, 2, 3, 4, 5, good, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, and 12. Cool. Don't ask me why they're called man makers. I think because they're supposed to be hard and grow you a pair of nuts, but I didn't name them. So, all right, third. Dumbbell lateral raise, super simple. You're gonna knock it out of the park, but there may be a few little tweaks that, I don't know, you are new to or just you weren't familiar with. So for our lateral raises, a couple things we wanna think about. 1, stretching outward rather than upward. Okay, so I only need to come to shoulder height, and I really want to think about long reach out to the sides. Okay, so that's going to keep the tension on our actual shoulders and not our neck and our traps taking over at the top. Okay, so stretching long out to the side. We're doing 12 total. The second thing that I want you to think about that might be just a small little nuance that you weren't familiar with is that I want you to try to raise with your pinkies slightly rotated up. Okay, so it's not excessive, but it's not this. It's definitely not thumb up, okay? It's here, just slightly, for the reason that there are 3 heads of our deltoid in our shoulder, okay? Forward, medial, and rear, posterior. So as we raise, like let's say that we raise with our thumb up or even just here slightly, we're really only hitting this front head, maybe a little bit of the lateral, but when I come here, you can almost kind of see I get this rear head activated, I get the front, and I get the medial. So we wanted to try to cover as much ground as we can there by raising slightly with those pinkies up. Okay, very last one here for you today. We have lying bicycles with a band resistance. So these aren't bicycles for the purpose of speed, which you may have done in the past. These guys are for the purpose of a nice slow contraction through our hip flexors, our core, and our glute on the bottom leg. Okay, so we're gonna take the band that you had used previously for the lateral squats. Okay, this guy's gonna go mid-foot here around your feet. So just make sure that it's locked in far enough down that it's not gonna fling off. Okay, you're laying back down onto the ground. Your shoulders, I'm sorry, not your shoulders. Your head can basically relax on down. Okay, I don't want you cranking your neck off. So hopefully you can see. Your shoulders and your head are gonna be down on the ground, okay? From here, what I'm gonna do is I'm extending hard out against the band and I'm keeping one foot up and in place, okay? I then am going to swap and swap and swap. Okay, we're gonna do 16 total. Again, notice I'm not doing this for the purpose of speed. I'm not just rebounding and bouncing off the band. I'm really pulling hard through this hip flexor and this knee to pull up towards my chest. I'm stretching out with this base leg. You can see my foot is kind of flexed. I'm driving with that heel out and down towards the ground. Okay, so I should get some glute on the bottom leg, lots of hip flexor on the top, lots of core. And then the last thing I really want you to think about is just keeping your lower back down against the ground. Okay, so if I was there and I tried to come and slip my hand under your low back, it should hit your back and not be able to find a gap there, okay? That's just gonna keep the tension on our front half rather than having our low back compensate, because it's really easy for that to start happening. So let's say we'll do 8 more because I completely lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more, 7, and 8. And then slowly dismount. And again, as you extend that base leg, I find it really helpful to think about flexing your foot towards you So pushing out like this, which is just gonna help light up the back of that leg, and help keep your lower back down on the ground to not start compensating for lack of core strength. So that was the second round. You only have to go through that one twice again. But that was the end of our workout for today. I hope that you feel good and confident with what you have accomplished. I'm proud of you for sticking with me through my corny videos and my post-workout heathenness look. I love you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Again, afterwards, a good long walk with the dogs, a little stretch, maybe your elliptical or new bike, either one, not a bad idea. Get stuff fluid and moving so you're not too sore afterwards. All right, love you. Bye.